In the midst of the shutdown and with the debt ceiling deadline almost here, the White House is standing strong on not negotiating with Republicans. Political strategist and former White House Communications Director Anita Dunn joins me now to talk about that messaging stance. Anita, first of all, thanks for coming. Let's talk about this, which is the president has been criticized from the left in the past for not standing strong enough in negotiations with Republicans. He appears to have heeded that advice and is standing pretty strong now. Is that helping or hurting him and the party more broadly today, right now?
Well, I think the president's message, which is that he's not going to negotiate on whether the United States should pay its bills or default on its debts, is exactly right. But the other piece of his message, and you've heard a lot of this week, is his willingness to negotiate and talk about the broader budget issues. How do we get our economy growing again? How do we create jobs? And he's been willing to do that all along. So I think that really that's the opening that the Republicans could take. I don't think the president has a message problem right now. I think the Republicans have a huge message problem.
I would agree they have a message problem. The vast majority of polling shows Republicans bearing more of the blame. But, slightly undertold story, the president doesn't look sort of shining, knight in shining armor here either. Everyone is not getting great reviews across the board. Is there a way that the president comes out of this whole, and when I say this whole thing, I mean the debt ceiling debate, the government shutdown, he comes out of this unscathed politically and brand-wise moving forward?
Chris, I think when you have a situation where the government is shut down and the United States is nearing the debt ceiling and defaulting on its debts, no one in government is going to look good. And I think that everyone would acknowledge they don't deserve to look good at a time like this. Listen, the Republicans, there's no doubt, are going to take the biggest hit out of this. As I like to say, a contest like this is always about who loses most badly.
Right.
Because there's never a clear winner. If you go
point.
back and you look at 1995, it isn't as though Bill Clinton's ratings shot up after the 41-day shutdown ended back then.
Is there a point at which you, if you were in the White House now, would counsel the president, I understand your position. I think your position as an advisor to you is correct, but the good of the country here, the economy long term, is in jeopardy. Does he have to? Is there a point at which he might have to move off of this?
It is definitely in everyone's interest for the White House to look for what I would call an escape route that they can offer the House Republican leadership and the Senate Republican leadership, who clearly are looking for some kind of escape route. And as you get closer to the debt ceiling deadline, if no resolution has been reached, I would think that efforts to find some way for everyone to claim that they have achieved part of their goals become that much more important. And that really, when people talk about the art of compromise and compromise making Washington work, that's what's been lost in Washington, is that there always has to be a winner and loser right now. And it used to be people looked for ways where everyone could walk away and say they'd won something. And that's what we dearly need right now. And
I think that's what, I certainly agree with you. That's what Republicans are. They're looking for some way out. We'll see if they find one.
And so one would argue you should give it to them.
Right. Yep. Anita Dunn, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.